My name is Joni Sutton.
My name is Betsy McCann.
Marilee Johnson.
Emily Threinen.
Carolyn Bunker-Rosedahl.
My name is Molly Waters.
I was the first woman in a snare line.
I was the first woman to be a director of a Big Ten marching band.
First female director of bands here at the University of Minnesota.
I was selected as the first female drum major of the University of Minnesota marching band.
I was one of the first women in the band. I went to the U planning to be in the band and in the marching band. And I got there in 1955 and found out that girls are not allowed to march. So I was in the ladies' auxiliary. We did things like polishing the tubas and taking care of the music and the instrument. And I can't believe we did that, because now girls would not do that, but we did that.
I was involved with the group that integrated the marching band, so I was also one of the first women in it.
My first year at the U, women were not allowed to try out for the marching band or to be in the marching band.
I was studying for this class in Walter Library. One day, a young woman came bursting into the room. She was waving a copy of the Minnesota Daily, saying, "This is not fair. Do you think this is fair?" And I said, "What?" And she said, "Well, the marching band won't admit women. They're all male." She said, "Do you think that's fair?" And I said, "Well, no, I don't think it's fair." And she said, "Well, we should do something." I said, "Okay." So we got together and formed a group, and we were called the Commission on the Status of Women Students, and we registered with the university so that we would be credentialed, because we weren't going to be very popular. The first excuse, and probably the most important, was a feeling sort of excuse, and that was, you would destroy our fraternal spirit.
They really thought they wouldn't be able to swear. And they really thought that there couldn't be that camaraderie.
The second issue that they brought up, they didn't have enough uniforms. Because our hips, our pelvic bones are shaped different in men and women, they said that we would throw off the appearance of the band because we would march differently.
The stupidest reason was they said, well, you know, your pelvis is a different shape, so it won't really fit into the uniform.
I've read the articles, I've read the various paperwork and newspaper clippings.
Diving into the documents with this anniversary coming up, and I mean, there's a series of letters from 1971 that our band directors started and wrote to the rest of the Big Ten just saying, what are you doing about this problem? Like, the girls aren't letting up. They keep asking them questions wanting to be in band, and they're not like stopping this time. What are you doing? And there's responses from the rest of the Big Ten band directors. So it's crazy to see that documented, and some of the things that are just there in these letters that were apparently commonplace to say.
When I heard that, I was thinking of the incoming freshmen. What about young women? I thought, well, aren't there girls now that would like to march that are going to be incoming into the freshman class? And I got mad.
I had good friends tell me that if I made it into the drum line, they would quit.
I stood up and I said, if you don't have any age limit, I'll join your damn band.
It's going to happen, and so we're going to live with it. That was how it felt in the spring. We're going to live with it. I think it would be naive to think that this was something that they wanted. Once they knew it needed to happen, then I think they did their best to make it work and to be a positive experience.
I was friends with the 451st Army Band. For the most part, they were extremely supportive of me.
Once I made it into the drum line, I felt fully accepted.
I was very fortunate to be able to go back early when they first let women in. And I really didn't sense any negativity. I mean, I was just accepted as part of the group. But Dr. Ben was just, I mean, he was just really nervous about me because he didn't know why I was there. And all I wanted to do was march. But he thought I was either going to cause trouble or drop dead on the 50-yard line. He wasn't sure which, you know.
It was a different time. And it's important to remember that. I don't think less of any of those people who said things to me that today seem shocking.
hearing from women who paved the way, women who weren't allowed to march, women who marched right in the beginning, that made me look at it differently and realize this is a big deal to a lot of people, and a lot of people fought a long time for somebody to be able to do this.
To me, is a better sign of progress than just one female drum major. It's that second and the normalization of leaders female leaders in big positions within the band, within the university. One is good, but two is when it becomes normalized, and that's really what we should be going for.
It is important to see role models, and it is important to see professionals that look like ourselves. So whether it be skin color or identity or gender, I think it is really important to see those people in professional spheres, for young people to see that, so they can look up and say, okay, it is possible.
There is no reason, there is zero reason why there should be more guys than women in a snare line. There's nothing male required to be in the snare line. It does not take testosterone to play a snare drum.
Keep on being as excellent as you can be, and keep on breaking barriers. I think it's wonderful that the women are heading up the music department now, and the marching band, and bringing their skills. I mean, and I don't think that anybody wishes we could go back to having just one sex march in the band. So I'm happy that I was a part of it.